You are welcome here. 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 Our arms are wide open.
Good morning. Good morning and welcome to the Ventura Center for Spiritual Living. I'm Reverend Bonnie Rose. It is wonderful to see all of you here today, and many thanks to our Facebook Live community for joining us as well. We're going to have a beautiful Sunday, and with that, I will pass it over to Brock.
Hi.
Hi.
Do you think my hair's okay?
No.
Okay.
You want me to fix it? Here. Okay, never mind. Okay.
Sometimes she threatens me with the rabbit brush because I'm allergic to rabbits. So what are we doing here? Oh yeah, welcoming. Bonnie used the word alignment recently and got me thinking about what we're actually doing here. And my sense is that through our studies, through the classes, through the books, we are finding that we are love. And through our prayers and our friendships, we are sharing that love. And then on Sunday, we gather in service to the great love. And in doing these things with our mind and our heart and our body, we align ourselves with the great love. And that's how this became a vortex. So I'm really grateful to those of you who choose to come. It's actually really important that we be here, that we show up, because the service to the great love that happens in the service, and we come to the service to serve. The service to the great love that happens in the service is that we are there for each other. It's very, very important. So welcome and thank you.
Thank you. Yes. Good morning.
Bill Hadris with Youth and Family. Hello. So the universe works through a principle of evolution, which is ever carrying us forward to greater and greater expressions of life, freedom, joy, and love. This evolution principle is most noticeable and happens the fastest when we do things outside of our comfort zone. How does it feel to do things outside of your comfort zone? Is it scary? Maybe you'll fail, right? Sometimes. So, to help you with this, I invite you to close your eyes, take a breath, and imagine you are in your favorite comfortable place. You're holding a mirror. When you look at it, you see your beautiful self, smiling, happy, safe, and secure. I'd like you to think about, what are some things you would do differently if you couldn't fail? Maybe make new friends, speak in public, climb a mountain. How would you feel if you believed you could do it? If you did things differently, stretch beyond your comfort zone, would you still be the same person? Now imagine yourself in that place, outside your comfort zone, doing something new and different, finding success. Look in that mirror you're holding again. You are the same person. I invite you all to repeat after me. I am freedom, love, and joy.
I am freedom, love, and joy.
And so it is. Thank you.
Let's hear from Lita, our practitioner, who will pray us in.
Good morning, everyone. And will the practitioners and ministers please stand? If it's comfortable, you can place your hand on your heart. How grateful I am to move into prayer, to connect heart to heart to heart, and connect to that one life that is truth, that is wholeness, and that is in this vortex of alignment. How grateful I am to know that this alignment moves through me and as it does through me, it does through everyone here, everyone listening later, and every man, woman, and child on our planet. How grateful I am to know that we are in alignment with the truth of our being. We are love, we are light, we are creativity, we are the presence of God manifesting right here and right now. So I'm so grateful to call for a blessing on our service today, a blessing on Bonnie's message, a blessing on Darius and Chris, a blessing on each and every one of us to step into the full power and presence of this alignment of truth that is within us. I'm so grateful to know this truth, to speak these words, and to know it is manifesting right here and right now. With a heart full of joy, I release my word to the divine mystery. It is done, it is perfect, it is complete, and together we say, and so it is.
Thank you, Lita. And let us continue to breathe deeply and rest into that inner spaciousness, the place that we remember, where we are love, where we are here to share love and to serve love. That beautiful inner sanctuary that informs us from the inside out and helps us see our world anew. With that in heart and mind and being, let us listen to the words of our sacred reading.
The Art of Allowing by Mike Robbins. A few months ago, I got some specific feedback that would serve me, my work, and my growth to start practicing the art of allowing in a more conscious and deliberate way. While I was familiar with the concept of allowing, I realized I had very little awareness or experience of it in actual practice. As I looked into it more deeply, I noticed I had a judgment about the whole concept of allowing. It always seemed weak, passive, lazy, or based on luck to me. I've always prided myself on being a hard worker, a go-getter, and someone who makes things happen. However, as I have recently come to understand, much of this has to do with a deep-seated fear that if I ever slow down, stop pushing so hard, or simply expect things to just show up with ease, the whole house of cards that is my life and my work will come crashing down around me. Can you relate? Allowing, however, is an essential aspect of life and growth, as well as of your success and fulfillment. The first aspect of allowing has to do with accepting things as they are. As author and teacher Byron Katie says, when you argue with reality, you lose, but only 100% of the time. When you're able to allow people, things, and situations to be as they are, without judging them, trying to fix them, or wanting to change them, you begin to tap into the immense power of allowing. Ironically, and somewhat paradoxically, when you truly allow things and people to be exactly as they are, you open up a space for real change and transformation to occur, if that is what you want. The deeper aspect of allowing has to do with trusting, being patient, and having faith that what you want to manifest, create, and experience can and will show up in your life as it is meant to. In other words, It's an ability to allow things to happen and materialize without you having to manipulate, dominate, or control other people or situations to make them happen. If you have a tendency to be a control freak at times, this can be incredibly challenging. The paradox that exists with allowing runs deep within you. Perhaps you were taught to believe, if it is to be, it's up to me. And while there is truth and wisdom in this philosophy, feeling as though you have to work hard, run fast, keep up, and make everything happen in your life is exhausting and insatiable. No matter how hard you work, what you try to fix, or all of the changes you intend to make, if you don't learn, practice, and ultimately master the art of allowing, true success and fulfillment will always elude you. Action is important, but you also have to learn to balance it out with your ability to allow. And so it is.
Good morning, everybody. Hope you're well. Thanks for having me back. I know this is the center of Be Kind, right? And I've written a song about that. It's slightly different words. It's called Choose Love. And the words are real simple in the chorus. Choose love, choose love. Choose love and keep on shining a light. So when it comes around, feel like getting into it, please do. So many choices in the world today. Too many things can blow your mind. And if you're looking for a simple truth to see you on your way, remember, choose love, choose love, choose love. And keep on shining a light and choose love, choose love, choose love. And keep on shining a light and choose love. Life is a game that we're all free to play. You can hold it down or let it breathe. And if you're looking for a simple song to sing along the way, together choose love, choose love, choose love. And keep on shining a light and choose love, choose love, choose love. And keep on shining a light and choose love. Only love can move mountains. Only love can lead the way. Love is always forgiveness. So make that choice right here today and choose love. Choose love, choose love, and keep on shining a light. And choose love, choose love, choose love, and keep on shining a light. And choose love, choose love, choose love, and keep on shining a light. And choose love, 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 love. Choose love and keep on shining a light. And choose love. Thank you. Chris on piano. Thanks.
Thank you so much. Appreciate that. Don't you wish all our musicians lived in Ventura? Yeah. Totally. You wish you lived here too? Well, we can pray for that if you want. Wouldn't be a problem. And I have to also give a shout to the guy that makes it all happen. We can have this wide array of musicians because of that guy sitting on the end there who can play for anybody. Did I ever tell you about Chris Kimbler's audition? Some of you may not have heard this story. Chris is our pianist. So when I started, a couple months after I started, our musical director got a different job and she left. And so I put out a call to some musicians that I knew in the area and asked if they could send anybody to me. And they said, yeah, there's this guy, Chris Kimbler, he's really good. And so we set up a time for an audition, and this long-haired hippie wearing blue jeans and a t-shirt walked in, and he wasn't carrying any music, and I thought, oh, great. I'm gonna have to use my polite voice. What else have you brought? But he sat down and he played the theme to On Golden Pond, a song. See, my husband's crying over there because the first three notes, both of us dissolve into tears, and I'm like, do, 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 you're hired. And that was it. It's been a long time. Yeah. So anyway, I'm procrastinating because I'm not totally prepared today, but let's see what happens, okay? Let's talk about the law of alignment, right? Okay, yeah, good. Couldn't remember what it said. Okay, so anybody recognize these folks here? What is it? Ted Lasso, a wonderful show about soccer in England. It's not necessarily, in terms of vocabulary, the most friendly show for families, say, but it is a fantastic show about kindness. It's awesome. Do you watch Ted Lasso? Yeah, he's English. Can you tell? He's English. Yeah. It's a fantastic show. It's all about how kindness can triumph. But anyway, I put this picture up here because Ted Lasso's team is praying to win. However, on the other side, the team, their opponent, whoever that is, they're praying to win. Which team gets to win? Is God, an anthropomorphized God, going up there? I wonder who deserves to win more? Which team deserves to win? They're both praying really hard. Let's say they have equal levels of the law of attraction in play. Which team deserves to win? I will leave you with that question for now. The next slide is about someone that we know. Let's call her Reverend Connie. A few years ago, Reverend Connie used to go on long hikes with her dogs, like 10 miles, whatnot. And also, that we always struggle with drought in California, right? We often struggle with drought in California. We're hoping to change that up through prayer and whatnot, but we are currently struggling with drought, and we have struggled with drought in the past. And Reverend Connie had planned a really long hike, really wonderful hike with her dogs, and it looked like it was going to rain the next day. But we were in a drought. But she didn't want to walk in the rain because the place where she hikes, the mud gets really thick, and it's like walking in high heels. How many of you have walked in high heels? Yeah, not fun. So would it be appropriate for Connie to pray in drought-infested California, please, 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 God, don't let it rain, or a spiritual mind treatment? I now know that God is bringing sun to my hike tomorrow. Would that have been appropriate? I don't know. Again, well, I do know, actually, but I'll leave that for later. Today, we're understanding the law of alignment. We're working on understanding the law of alignment. Now, this is largely based on the work of Esther Hicks and Abraham Hicks. Many of you know who Abraham Hicks is, right? Yeah. So it's a channeled work. She channels something. And at the beginning, I felt that I was, I'm not very, despite of the fact that I work in a religious science church, I'm not as, sorry, this is not meant to be insulting, but not as woo-woo as others. So I'm like, yeah, sure, it's channeled, right? But, however, what she says is so wise. I don't know whether she's getting it from herself or from some entity that she channels, but it is incredibly wise. And so the books that we're featuring this week are The Vortex, which is in the bookstore, and also Ask and It Is Given. Really great books about what she calls the law of attraction. The law of attraction to me has always sounded like there's something out here, and we become a magnet, and we whoosh, We pull it into ourselves. And I don't think it's that at all. I think it's more about alignment and awakening to that which is already within us, that which is already around us, that which is already in our souls, the quality that is already manifesting within us now. We just have to awaken to it or align with it in order to have the experience of life that we want. You know, it's sort of one of the issues with the law of attraction that I saw when the movie of The Secret came out was that people were saying, when I get this thing that I'm trying to manifest, then I'll be happy. And really the other thing is true. When I'm happy, then whatever I need will fall into my being and everything will be fine. So this idea that it's already given and that we just need to awaken to it or align with it is what I'm talking about today. There is the idea of, that's why alignment versus attraction. It also, to me, reconciles some of those prayer questions. You know, which team in Ted Lasso is going to win? They're both praying for a certain outcome. Which team is going to win? And is it appropriate for me to pray for, it's me, okay, it's not Reverend Connie. For me to pray for sun when California needs the rain. It reminded me of some physics theory that I read and I couldn't find it anywhere, but it's this idea that there are two cars that equally have the right of way at an intersection. Which car goes first? How do they choose? And the answer is that one consciousness does the choosing. There is one consciousness that does the choosing. So with the two teams, one consciousness is choosing the perfect outcome for both teams. One team is supposed to win, one team is supposed to not win. But we all know here in this center, I hope by now, that sometimes not winning is the best thing that can happen, right? It's like what Bill said about sometimes not being successful, that it inspires you to go deeper and to do greater things. With the rain and the hiking, you know, if it was to rain, that would be the best thing that would happen, that I would do something else, you know. There's always one consciousness making the choosing, and if we align with that greater consciousness, then our lives are much, much better. It's like Hughes said in the reading, that piece that Byron Katie said, we certainly can argue with reality, we certainly can argue with the one consciousness, but the one consciousness and reality is only right 100% of the time, right? We will lose 100% of the time if we argue with reality. So we're moving, as we move from manifesting from the ego, which is, I think, it's what a lot of us learn to do when we're first starting out in metaphysical teachings, is that we start to manifest from the ego. Like we say, I need this thing in order to be happy. That's an ego's idea of a prop that we need in order to fix ourselves or to boost ourselves up or to give the illusion of success. When we stop manifesting from the ego and start aligning with the oneness that all is, that is all, then things move into a place where we are starting to really get this idea of non-duality, where we're starting to really get this idea of oneness, where we align with the oneness and we know that whatever happens, happens for a good reason, for the good of all. You know, my friend Nipun talks about this thing called an infinite game, where there are no winners and there are no losers. Everybody is expanding into infinite grace. And sometimes it looks like what the ego may call losing. Sometimes it looks like what the ego may call winning. But we are constantly called to surrender to this bigger vision of reality that holds all opposites and participate with that reality in a new way and allow it to lead us to grace beyond what we can even imagine. It's such a wonderful place to be. And I celebrate that with you today as we learn to align to a grace beyond our knowing. So a moment of reflection, if you would. Just look within and consider an area in your life where you may be struggling, or you may be wanting something different. Take a moment just to ponder what that might be. I'm sure everybody has something, and today we'll learn that that's a good thing, to have an area where you want something different or where you might be struggling. So just think what that might be, and then commit to examining it today. And through our examination, we will align with greater being, with the one that reconciles everything and makes all things possible. This talk about aligning versus attracting reminded me of a verse that I quote almost every Sunday because it's my favorite verse, and I redacted it today. So we could play a game. I have to look at it to see which words I redacted. The kingdom of Yes, good job. Is spread upon the earth, but we do not see it. From the Gospel of... Okay. Oh, that was so good, y'all. Give yourself a little round of applause. That was awesome. Did I hear like one or two people say Thomas? David said it. You said it. Good job. There you go. You get a free book. No, I'm going to start that again. Okay. So the kingdom of heaven is spread upon the earth, but we do not see it. You know, and we've learned through the last couple of years or so, as I've been really pounding at this kingdom of heaven idea. And by the way, if you don't like kingdom, say something else, say realm, say vibration, whatever you want. I'm not going to rewrite the whole Bible and take all the kingdoms out. Neither am I going to rewrite the whole Science of Mind textbook and take all the kingdoms out. The kingdom of heaven is spread upon the earth, but we do not see it. And, you know, so many of us have learned to believe over the years that the kingdom of heaven is like an afterlife destination spa where we get to go if we've behaved the right things or if we behaved in the right way or believed the right things. But the kingdom of heaven is here right now, within us, amongst us. And we don't see it. We turn a blind eye to the kingdom of heaven. And so much of our work here is aligning with the kingdom of heaven, of learning to see it and learning to be with it, learning to be in it at all times. And our willingness to be in it, to see it, helps us, but it also helps the whole planet. All of this talk about kingdoms reminded me of something that I learned a long time ago, back in the Stone Ages when I was first becoming a practitioner, back in '03, no, whatever it was, I don't know what it was, it was the 90s. But I learned about the 4 kingdoms of consciousness. And I believe this is Michael Beckwith, but I think it's him, but a lot of people quote it. So the 4 kingdoms of consciousness, this is just a schematic of what they are, and then we'll go into them a little bit more. What does that image look like to you, by the way? I worked so hard on that. To me, may I say this out loud? Do I have your permission to be a little ruder than well, why am I lying? I've been around a lot of surgeons, right? To me, it looks like Mickey Mouse with breast implants. I'm just saying. But I didn't know how to make it any better. Did not know how to make it any better. So we're going to now you remember it, right? Remember that symbol she did, a Mickey Mouse with breast implants? Yeah. Okay, so those are the 4 kingdoms of heaven. And usually, by the way, it's done in a chart. It's done in bars. So this makes it look less hierarchical because we float around all of these kingdoms all the time. So in the center is God, always. God is the center. God is the center and also the circumference as well, the perimeter. Even though there is no perimeter, it's endless. But there's the victim circle, there's the director circle, the vessel kingdom, and the at-one-ment kingdom. So we're going to talk about what those are, okay? And like I said, we all move through all of them all of the time. So kingdom 1 is the victim kingdom. Victim kingdom is a belief that life is done to me. I am a victim of life's circumstances. You know, when I've talked before about this idea that if I get this, then I'll be happy. That's a bit of victim consciousness. It's also a belief that I react to life. I have no power over my reactions. I'm powerless in terms of life, and life is often against me. It happens, we notice victim consciousness when we're blaming somebody, when we're in criticism, when we're feeling despair about circumstances. I was chatting with a minister online the other day, and they were talking about how some recent events and whatnot, how things have really changed in that a lot of the media is propelling us into victim consciousness. And he was talking about how, what if we had to have 12 different headlines a day on a 24-hour news cycle when Thomas Edison was creating electric light. 12 headlines a day, and it would have come up with things like, Edison bilks millions on electricity scam. They said it couldn't be done, and it can't. Is Edison secretly working for the oil monopolies? So, that's Reverend Glenn Stocking, by the way. So we're programmed, I think, a lot by the society around us, and also just by our brain chemistry, our brain structure, to be looking for threats all the time, and that naturally puts us into victim consciousness. So it's not wrong to be in victim consciousness. Who here has been in victim consciousness? Let's do a show of pinkies so we're not too shy. Oh, some people are showing hands. Okay, I've been in victim consciousness. Okay, so. But the way to move past victim consciousness is to let go of blame, shame, and regret. Let go of blaming others, let go of shaming yourself. And instead of regret, there's something else to be done in terms of, I feel so badly that this thing happened, right? The next consciousness that moves us into Kingdom 2, which is director. And that is that life is done by me. And in this kingdom, we take a lot of responsibility for our choices. This is the kingdom where, like the movie The Secret talks about, where you can manifest things that you want, right? So you manifest your heart's desire by applying the power of your thought. You can control your thoughts. You can control your outcomes by applying skilled thought. That's cool. It's necessary sometimes. I still use it from time to time. We probably all do use it from time to time. And it also can get us into a place where we're controlling, where we're getting very, very controlling. And when things don't turn out like we want, again, it moves us back into victim consciousness where we respond to things with blame and shame and regret, right? So the way to move past, to transcend that consciousness, is to move from we give up control. We give up control. We give up the need to control our environment. The next kingdom is a vessel. You know that song, Here I Am, a vessel to be used. Whatever spirit needs from me, I will be, I will be, I will be. Everybody, never mind, okay. Am a vessel to be used. Whatever spirit needs from me, I will be, I will be, I will be. Thank you. And thank you for starting it in a reasonable key, Brother David. I appreciate that. Can count on a tenor. Usually to start it in a horrible key, but thank you for, for transcending your tenorial ways, okay? Anyway, so this is the consciousness of that it is done through me, and Spirit uses my life. There's another song, we probably don't have to sing that one, called Use Me, O God, I stand for you, and here I'll abide as you show me all that I must do. That is vessel consciousness, folks. That is such a powerful place to be when you are so not attached to outcome, when you just know. You're not attached to outcome because you know that God has got your back, that God is on your side, that the divine love that pours through everything is doing what needs to be done by means of you. You know, again, from the Bible, it is not the Father, it is not I that doeth the work, but the Father, Mother, God within me that does the work, right? It's standing in that state of consciousness. And it's kind of what Bill talked about too. It's like it gives you so much more power, but it's a humble power. It's a state of humble exaltation. And that is a powerful and a beautiful place to be. But if we want to move on to the fourth kingdom, we let go of any sense of separation. That's why we sing, I am remembering who I am. I am remembering who I am to remember that we are that oneness. We are one not only with God, not like it's two separate things. We are one with God. We are one with everything. We are one with the stars, the animal kingdom, the grains of sand on the beach, the ocean. We are like a wave in the ocean. We are a drop in the ocean, but we are also the ocean in a drop. We are the oneness that prevails in everything. And when we're in that place, life is unstoppable. Life is completely unconditional. You know what I mean by that? We are not dependent upon conditions in order to be happy. We move into our true nature, the true nature of our oneness, of our connection with God, which is happiness and peace and love. And anything can happen, and we're still happy. And this is not inviting bad stuff into our lives. It's just understanding that life is unconditional. There is something within us. Ernest Holmes said this, the founder of our religion. Ernest Holmes said this, that there is something within us that is unassailable. Something within us that is unassailable, that cannot be touched by the vicissitudes of life. And then we abide in that place. And it's possible. You know, I see some skeptical looks out there, like, what is she talking about? But it really is possible. It really is possible. And I'm sure that everyone has done this in phases where you've been so at peace and so happy and so blissful that nothing can harm you, nothing can hurt you, nothing can derail you. Everything is as it should be. I remember one time, this is a long time ago, when I used to go out and do singing auditions and whatnot, and I auditioned for something that was like sending out quartets, vocal quartets, to sing around town. And the person that I called said something to the effect of, we really have enough people, so I don't really need to audition you. And I had a rare moment of clarity, oddly. Back then I didn't have many moments of clarity. I was busily scratching my way to to what I thought would be successful and happy. And the scratching my way part, probably should have given it away. But anyway, instead of reacting to her, I just said, you know what? I want you to get the best singers you possibly can. So if you've got enough people, I'm happy for you. That's great. And she said, you know what? Maybe we will have you come in and audition. And I did, and I ended up singing for her for, 5 or 6 years. It was really great. So it's that kind of attitude. It's that knowing that everything is okay. Everything is okay. Everything is falling into place. And really knowing on a deep level, because you are one with all that is. You are one with the one. You are the allness in all. Not just intellectually, but in an experiential way. We are one with all that is. We are the allness in all. So Esther Hicks and Abraham have a way to help us move through these kingdoms. This kind of applies to what I'm going to say about Esther Hicks's work. This is, those are the 4 kingdoms again, to remind you that we jump around in all of them. We jump around, we move through all of them all the time, okay? The law of alignment helps us abide in kingdoms 3 and 4 most of the time when we practice it. Now, I was going to ask you before, but I forgot. Which 2 kingdoms do you think feel the best? 3 and 4. They really feel the best. That's a great sense of empowerment and a great sense of peace and a great sense of happiness. The law of alignment, the law of attraction, the law of allowing, as Hugh talked about, all of that stuff helps us abide in those kingdoms in a much more consistent manner. And the way that she suggests that we do it is that we notice, first of all, we notice contrast. Now, in the language of Esther Hicks, she doesn't use words like disaster, tragedy, trauma. She just calls everything that we don't want, everything that is unwanted, contrast. Okay? Somebody was mean to me. Oh, contrast. Somebody owes me $2,000 and he hasn't paid it. Contrast. If you're listening, I know who you are. Oh, I have a little ache here, a little pain there. Contrast. I can't stop eating chocolate. Contrast. Okay, that's all about me. Perhaps some of you have contrasts as well. You don't need to shout them out. Some of it's probably personal, and some of it's probably a lot deeper than I can't stop eating chocolate. But whatever it is, if we start thinking of it as contrast, that is empowering. So we notice the contrast, and then we ask for what we want. Okay? It's helpful to ask, there's this whole debate in our denomination of should I ask specifically or should I ask in a vague manner? I'm more in the vague camp, okay? And I'll explain what I mean by that in just a minute. One of my practitioners, somebody that I went to for spiritual counseling for a long time, said if you're too specific, it sometimes limits the ability of the law to work. It limits the ability of the law of attraction to bring in what you want. It's over here trying to assemble what you want, and there might be great gifts over here, but you're looking for that very specific detail to come into your life, right? If we're a little more open, like I say, go for the feeling, right? What would that thing that you want make you feel? Abundance. Not make you feel, but inspire in you. Abundance. It might help you feel healthy. It might help you feel a deeper sense of well-being. So ask for those things. Ask for a deeper sense of joy, a deeper sense of well-being, any spiritual quality, abundance, love, anything, any God attribute. Ask for those things. Ask for a deeper appreciation of your life. Ask for those things. You ask. Okay? So the first one is notice contrast and then ask for what you want, for what is wanted. The second phase is that it is given. You don't have to do anything on that phase. It's assembled. What you want particularly, this is much easier to see if we're asking for happiness or joy or peace or love. What is spread upon the earth? The kingdom of heaven, right? Which means that joy, peace, happiness, love, all of the God qualities are spread upon the earth. We just, for whatever reason, have something over our eyes, our inner eye, and we can't see it. It's already assembled. It is there waiting for you to receive it, which is the third phase, which is receive. Receive. And we receive by raising our level of alignment, by raising what Esther Hicks calls our vibration level. I was sharing with somebody the other day about a tool that I used, and it was one of those things where, you ever have to have a difficult conversation, anybody, with somebody that, is going to get mad at you? Yeah? Okay. And this was somebody away from here, a friend from a former incarnation. And I said something like, I had learned that morning, had remembered that morning, that if you keep your vibration level high, that difficult person will either raise to your vibration level or go away. And I tried it, and it worked. So I was telling my friend, and he goes, how do you raise your vibration level? Very Eeyore-esque, right? We raise our vibration level in lots of ways. Esther Hicks is quite bold in that she says you don't have to obsess about what you want all the time. Go for a walk, take a nap, think of something else. But as you're doing it, think about appreciation. Appreciate what is. She also tells us not to focus on the absence of what is, but to focus on what is, what exists, right? So you don't focus on absence, we focus on presence. So let's say you're wanting more abundance in your life. So we start focusing on all the abundance that you already have. Because even if you have $3 in your checking account, there is so much abundance around us all of the time. Abundant grocery stores, abundant nature, abundant love, abundant church. Look at this beautiful place where we get to go on Sundays, right? We focus on the abundance that we have, and that raises our vibration level so that we are able to receive what is given. It takes a little bit of work. It takes a little bit of effort to not climb back to focusing on absence in Kingdom 1, right? But we can do it. We can totally do it. Evidently, Esther Hicks didn't like it that there were only 3 steps, so she asked for a 4th step. So the 4th step is get really good at raising your vibration level. Just keep practicing. And then that led to a 5th step. I love the 5th step so much. The 5th step is the crux of what I preach here, people. The 5th step is you get so good at raising your vibration level that when contrast happens, you celebrate it. You delight in it. You say, oh, wow, this is not happening against me. This is happening for me. I get to practice some more. I get to expand even further. I get to look at even more great things in life so that I can unify with that grace and that oneness that I know that I already am. This is wonderful. I love contrast. Repeat after me. I love contrast. All righty then. Say that the next time you experience contrast and see what happens. Because the words may shift your heart just a tiny bit so you can see the value of contrast, and it can lead you into a higher blessing. So that's that. I'm going to tell you a story about how, before I even knew this stuff, I applied it, not to my life, but to somebody else's. I'm honored today that my nephew, Andrew, is in the house. I asked him permission to tell this story. I don't even know where to start. So Andrew, when he was about 20 years old, decided to tell his parents that he was gay, right? And it's funny, I was like, is it okay if I out you in church? And he's like, well, I have a husband, so I think I'm out, But anyway, he decided to tell his parents that he was gay, my sister and her husband. And so he went home and he told them, and it was, that's a story in itself. But my sister, who is very kind and very loving and very sweet and very open, she loves Andrew so much, and she has nothing at all against people being gay, but she was a little bit worried about him. a little bit worried that being out might affect his life in some negative way. And so Judy, my sister, called me, and she expressed contrast. She said, I want Andrew to have a great life, but I'm afraid for him. I'm afraid that maybe people will be unkind to him or that things will be difficult for him. So she expressed contrast. And then, of course, without even asking, the universe had already assembled that the idea that being gay or straight or whatever is just perfectly fine in the eyes of God. That was already assembled. We didn't need to do any work about that. I just drew her attention to it. And I said, you know what, Judy? You know what? I didn't say raise your vibration level, but that's what we did. You know what? Now, Andrew has been holding this secret down for years. And now that the secret is free, he is free. He's free. He's able to be so creative. He's able to take all of that energy that it took to holding that secret in to do something wonderful. And wouldn't you know it? He did. My nephew Andrew has a wonderful life. He's a singer, a voice coach, a conductor, a composer, an arranger, author. He travels all over the world to teach singing. He's here now to, what are you teaching a workshop up in San Francisco, right? Something like that? Yeah, he goes all over the world and teaches. He works with a lot of folks that are in New York, Broadway bound or on Broadway. And just to kind of showcase this and to presence about the wonders of actually moving into your authentic self through noticing contrast, recognizing that spirit has already given us what we need, and then raising our vibration level through positive thought. I'm just going to do a quick showcase as to what Andrew can do. He, like I said, he works with many people that are, celebrities or on their way to being celebrities, and this is one of his greatest stars that I'm going to showcase. You know how some stars are too big for two names? Like Cher, or Liberace, or there's somebody modern, right? Rihanna, Beyonce, right? Beyonce, Rihanna. She just has one name, right? Lizzo, yes, I love Lizzo. Yeah. So anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I give you Andrew and his latest protege, Jasper.
'Cause I will never leave you. And I will always love you. I will always love you. Love you. He came to offer me vanilla. Cream. It's not fair to deny me of the cross I bear that you gave to me. You ought to know. I don't even need your love, but you treat me like a stranger, and that feels so.
So you guys, you know what to do. Go out and train your dog to sing, or notice contrast, celebrate it, ask for what you want, trust that the universe assembles it, and then raise your vibration level to receive it, and then get really good at it, and then delight in more contrast, because the cycle continues and continues and continues, always and forever. Let's know that now. Let us pray. And together we just trust and know that there is this divine power and presence, this beauty, this love, this miracle that is just so great, so wonderful, so God, so right here for us, right here and right now. It is joy, it is love, it is happiness, it is laughter, it is everything that we align with here in this center and beyond. And so I just open my heart to know these truths for myself and for everyone sitting in this room and for all of the loved ones that we hold dear. I trust that these words have had a healing impact today, that the music and the community are also wonderfully opening our hearts to be that spectacular vision of spirit that so deeply desires to express its treasures through every single detail of our lives. So if there's any place where we are struggling, I just invite all of us, I know for all of us that we can just invite in the possible, that we can invite in the celebration of the contrast and know that it is simply existing in our lives to invite us to ask for something greater, to ask for the greatness that we already have, that we already deserve, that is spread upon the earth so that we might see it and be it and love it. I'm so grateful for what we've shared here today, so grateful that people showed up with their hearts open and all of the beauty and power and love that every single person contributes simply by being here. It's so wonderful to swim together in this spiritual soup and be who we are and to expand who we are through love and kindness and joy. I give thanks for this center. I give thanks for all paths to God, churches, temples, mosques, ashrams, gurdwaras, fundamentalists, atheists, agnostics, all beings everywhere, because all beings are a blessing. And with a heart that is so filled with gratitude, I say thank you, Spirit, thank you, love, and I release these words into the divine mystery. And together we say, and so it is. Namaste.
Thank you, Reverend Bonnie. Feeling a little insecure up here now by myself. I feel like I should have a dog with me to sing. You guys have a little puppy up there? Is it a she or a he? A she? Could she hit the high harmonies for me? I can see clearly now. The rain is gone. I can see all obstacles that are in my way. Gone are the dark clouds that had me blind. It's gonna be a bright, bright, sunshiny day. It's gonna be a bright, oh, a bright, sunshiny day. I think I can make it now. The pain is gone. All of the bad feelings have disappeared. Here is that rainbow I've been praying for. It's gonna be a bright, bright, sunshiny day. It's gonna be a bright, oh, a bright, sunshiny day. Look all around, it's nothing but blue sky. Look straight ahead, nothing but blue skies. I can see clearly. Now the rain is gone, it's gone, it's gone. I can see all obstacles that are in my way. Gone are the dark clouds that had me blind. It's gonna be a bright, oh, a bright, bright, sunshiny day. It's gonna be a bright, oh, a bright, sunshiny day. It's gonna be a bright, oh, a bright, sunshiny day. Thank you. Good job up there. Appreciate it. Thank you, guys. And is it cake batter? She did a good job, huh? Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks so much, Kim. It's beautiful. So I'll just go do the announcements real quick because we're going pretty late here. Okay, flower dedication. Here we go. Let's see who gets the flowers today. You know what? He's probably back there. The flowers go to Nick Hayner. Thank you so much for the fruit salad every week. Okay. Thank you. Okay, the ambassadors, you just saw Mark. So if you've got questions, if you're new, check in with one of the ambassadors. There's a new foundational class. Now that, you can still sign up for that. It started last week, but you can still sign up for it. It's taught by Jennifer Hadris. It's on September 15th in person, and it's on Zoom on Fridays in the morning. So you can still sign up, and you can do that online. Peace meditation. We're having a wonderful peace meditation brought to us by our practitioners, and that is happening this Wednesday on September 21st here in person, and it's also live stream. It's an International Day of Peace, and we're just calling in peace with readings and music and all kinds of great stuff. Animal Blessing is coming up October 8th, 10 a.m. Martha's Hall. There's actually a sign-up sheet because we want to know who you're bringing, you know. We're welcoming well-behaved humans and well-behaved animals, so you can sign up for that. You can also sign up online. On October 9th, we're doing a field trip to the Sikh Gurdwara, which is just up the street. More details about that are online on our website. We have all kinds of volunteer opportunities for assisting folks that are unhoused. Choir rehearsal is today downstairs. And then after service, you can go get hospitality. You can shop in the bookstore. We've got some free book and puzzle gives away, artwork by Fred Mondragon, and most especially prayer by a practitioner. Hey, let us pray. Thank you. So turning within, let's just breathe in and open our hearts to everything that has happened here today, the new faces, the delight of everyone here, the joys and the sorrows, all of it conspiring to create a beautiful morning. I'm just so grateful for all of this, so grateful for everyone that has shown up today and lent their gifts, whether it's serving or serving silently by sitting in the seats and opening your hearts and trusting that this work will have an impact not only on ourselves, but on the world as it ripples out through each of us. So with a deep sense of gratitude, I say thank you, Spirit, thank you, love, and I release these words into the divine mystery. And together we say, and so it is.